I've never seen anything like this, right? And so
No, neither. I was saying to Benny last check-in we had, like we're living in the age where you could tell your grandkids, if you had any one day, that I lived through the point where people stopped shaking hands.
yeah,
That's
pretty
fucking
much.
weird, man. It's fucking
That's how
weird.
you know it's gonna be real. Like, you know, I mean it. Man, there's all these fucking open handshakes or whatever. The flimsy people that like grab your hand. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If you're risking Corona with a limp handshake, yeah, fuck. That's what I'm saying, man.
Get off me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about your comedy, man. I'm a huge fan. I know
Oh, thanks, bro.
I mean I've only met you once, and this is my first time talking to you since I met you. But um, you you just had this quality about you when I saw you at Gorilla, and we worked out basically 2 years ago. So it was the last time you were here.
Yeah.
Me and a bunch of guys went down just to see what was happening because I was getting into it at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And you just had this fucking way of carrying yourself where and take this the right way, where I'm not surprised you can't perform at home. Like you need people. I just haven't really seen anyone who feeds off the crowd like you do.
Oh yeah.
And that fucking VR bit, man. I don't know if you still do it,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but
I got that one going.
me and my best mates still joke about that shit today. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
such a good fucking bit. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
But
Well, I'm glad too, because that said, it saved me because it was like what I think my second set in Australia, and I had like a 3-day layoff. But then like I never even understood you guys or like how you like comedy and stuff, right? So I went and did a show at King's and just bombed, man. Like
oh
not well,
shit.
well, not like bomb, but it was like enough not to be like, you know, proud of. But then and Simon Hughes, what was it? Yeah, Simon Hughes
Yep.
was hosting that night, and he was like, oh shit, it's this guy. And then I don't know, it clicked in that moment. And he's like, oh, I knew you were good, but you were just shit the other day. I'm like, oh, thanks, bro. You know, like, you know, nice meeting you again, man.
Yeah. Well, you had it in you. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, no,
Oh, thanks.
how's comedy been since that point then? Because that's my only reference point to you, and this might be the first time people are meeting. But like, what sort of progression have you had in those last 2 years? Like, you doing bigger gigs over there? You're writing
Yeah,
writing
we're
different shit now, or like.
yeah, so we started touring. Well, I say we, I guess, I don't know, just mostly I, but from coast to coast now, which is nice, and like headlining all the shows in Canada, which is pretty dope. Still getting snubbed by some festivals. Some of ones are accepting me, but it's good, man. I kind of just realized that, like, I don't know. I don't really even like. Sometimes I always got caught up in my mind of like, okay, how do I got to be funny with these people? Like, can I make them? It was almost like you're going to a party and you're trying to make everybody like you. Now I don't even give a shit, man. You're either with it or you're with no. You know, like so. In those 2 years, I kind of just grown it where I'm like, man, you know, because there was a couple fans where it was like they reach out and be like, oh yeah, I don't really like, you know, like it's kind of risque to talk about it and stuff, and then I'd be like, man, like I don't even really care, like you know,
Like
in the
what?
sense, well, like just saying some jokes, they'd be like, oh, you really want to joke about that? And you're like, yeah, kind of do. What do you what do you mean, right? So just like off colored, like I don't know, man. I'd have like this, well, like I was making these jokes about like gender neutral washrooms, and then like they kind of forgot though, because the whole punchline of the joke was like this woman basically coming into the washroom and showing me up as a man because I went to a washroom once and this guy was like he was uneasy that the girls were in there and stuff, and he was saying like, what happens if you got to piss and then one like shows you up, and the whole thing, I'm like, what are you talking about, man? And I got the mental image of a woman showing me up, like going to the urinal, hiking her skirt to the side, putting a thumb over it, and just like putting a huge arc while she's dummying a tall boy, right? And these guys are like, well, you shouldn't do it. That's a transphobic joke. I'm like, if you didn't even listen to it, it's like, if anything, it's pro women pissing in a guy's urinal. You know, and then and then I'm like, and then I kind of started thinking, I'm like, you know, these like little I don't know, I guess I wouldn't call it, yeah, if I could, I'll call them sheep, I guess. But like, you know, they're just kind of like, I don't know, it's hard to describe, where I'm like, oh, these guys aren't the fans that I want, you know, like I want
Yeah.
these diehards that are like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't, that are down to ride and not be like, oh, sorry, this is my stop. It was a pleasure on the last 3, but that's just, I can't do it. I want the guys like, fucking man, all gas, no brakes, let's go. Right? Like, that's what I want, man.
Oh man, what an analogy! Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's awesome.
Do you think like if you write something that comes from a personal experience, do you think that gives you kind of a different license to say, I was there, this is what happened, I can say what I want about it within certain reasons? Like, you can't.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like,
Yeah.
not, like, I don't know. It's weird when these people like hear certain things and then like they don't listen to the tone of it, or they hear the tone of it and they don't listen to like the content or the context, and they just kind of like clue out because they don't, like.
Yeah.
And it's not like a malicious place or like a place of like, it's none of my jokes really come from a place to like, punch down at someone. It may be like we're swinging, but it's never like punching down, right? But it's, I don't know, it's a weird thing where some people like they don't want to mess around with the status quo of things, and you're like, okay, well, at the end of the day, I don't know where comedian comes from, or like comics. Like at the end, we were court jesters, and we'd make fun of everybody. We'd make fun of the king, and if we died, fuck it, so be it. At least we got a laugh, right? So it's kind of weird where people forget, like, I don't know where the whole thing kind of comes from, in the sense that like we are supposed to make fun of everybody.
Do you think it's going to open up people's eyes now with all this corona stuff going around, in the sense of the PC bullshit that goes along, like you're talking about now, people just being very, oh, well, you can't talk about that, or I don't get that. Do you reckon it's all going to change now from this point? I mean, after this,
I hope so, man, because then it's like, keep these weak people at home, man, That's what I want. Go watch, a baking show or something, man. Get out of the clubs. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's going to be kind of like, I don't know. It's going to be kind of weird. I don't know how long we'll kind of be not be able to perform. And it would be nice to see if it graduates. Okay, now you're allowed 10 people. Now you're allowed 50. Now you're allowed this. But like our prime minister said, nothing's going to go normal until we get a vaccine. And you're like, okay, when's that?
Well, hurry up. Yeah.
Yeah, but I ain't going to take it. I'll tell you that, boys.
Why not?
I don't know, man. I've been down so many wormholes this week. I don't want to. I got nothing but time. Someone told me the QAnons let the internet go, and I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, if I don't know, man. If like I don't know if like a country kind of makes it mandated, in the sense where it's just like, all right, everybody has to have this. You're like, I don't know, do I? Let's let maybe a couple hundred take it first, see if any of them drop, and then I'll show up.
Yeah, we'll
just do it from a ballad. Yeah.
We'll get all the PC people to go first.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Do you think oranges are insensitive? Yeah, right this way, buddy. Right this way. Do you get upset when someone squeezes an avocado twice and not once?
Fucking hipsters.
Yeah, who knows? But fuck, we always need a barista, so keep them around.
So you love your coffee then?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, I need it.
Do you have any,
go ahead, sorry.
No, you go, man. You go.
Oh, I was just saying, when I was down there, I like my Americanos, but then they were like, oh, what is that? You mean a tall block? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take one of those. I'm like, all right. I didn't know I was playing basketball, but sure.
You're on my team. Do you have any pre-gig rituals? Like, did you go through a phase where you're kind of experimenting? Okay, I can't do this before a show, or I have to do this before a show, or blah, like anything like that?
Like when I first started, I had to like do like jumping jacks and shadow boxing and stuff like that, just to get it going. But I don't know, I like to say like just like to kind of get into a Zen mode and just fully relax and feel the room kind of, I guess, in in a different way than like seeing it. I don't know, feel the energy, I guess, and that kind of stuff. But I don't like smoking pot before shows. I can't do that, or else I'm just brain dead up there. And then I trip out. I hit the silence, you know, even if it's like meant to be there. I'm like, oh, where's the LPMs? Right? So I get all in my head. But yeah, man, I just like to get zen. I don't know. I like talk to my grandma, I guess, because she was a performer till she died. So I like to say like she's kind of there too. And I don't know.
No shit. What did she do?
She was just like a community theater actress. So she would like go around in nursing homes that she would like with all of her other people. Yeah. And so she did like just all that stuff till she was dead.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of awesome. on a positive note, I guess. Ain't that right, Grammys?
It's just interesting to hear if anyone has like any, you know, things that are definite do's or definite don'ts before they go on stage, because like that can like we get a lot of new comics listening to this, and like a lot of them, you know, are probably wondering, you know, I bombed last night, what did I do wrong, sort of thing. Like how do you go with bombing? Like, can you recall your worst bomb?
Yeah, I was in this place called Regina Beach, and I was just supposed to do 20 minutes, but I was tanking so hard, so I decided to do 45. And you know, as I'm like, oh, this one will get him, this one will get him, this one will get him. Next thing you know, I'm just looking at the next comic, and he's like, yeah, buddy, it's been a long time. And then I'm like, oh, but no, yeah, I just bombed trying to make these guys like me. And then I was like, yeah, man. And then that was just, they could just see it. They're like, oh, man, this guy's thirsty for hugs right now or something. Like, you know, and then they just started getting combative with me. And like some of them were good chirps too, right? Because it was in a hockey town, right? So like all these guys are just hockey boys. So they're hitting me with chirps like mad. And I just couldn't. There were some of them, I'm like, it's a really good one, man. I got nothing for that. Then, so they're like, "Oh, sick, okay." And then they started having a show between each other, like in the audience. And I was like, "Oh, fuck! All right, see you guys later." And then it's just one where I had to go and drink for like the rest of the night.
Oh, fuck!
So how long have you been doing comedy? I mean, when did you start? And
I started when I was 18, so I'm 29 now. So just 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you still got any material from when you first started that's made the cut since?
No. I think my first joke, I tried talking about stand-up tanning beds. And you can see how that went right from that. No, but I don't. I have like I looked at actually one of my old notebooks, and it was like from my first 3 years, and I had this one bit that was like, I was so happy I got it. It was getting applause breaks at the beginning, but then I looked back at it now, and I'm like, I don't know how this ever came to light. It was basically, what was it? Oh, someone said F a duck, and then I'm like, oh, okay, like what? Like that was their like, oh, fuck a duck, kind of like stubbed their toe or something. And then I was like, oh yeah, well, if I would have sex with a bird, which one would I have? And then I went through like a whole list of birds that I would have sex with, and like, I don't know, the punchline one was like a goose would like, yeah, I think the punchline was a goose where I'd put like my dick in the goose, and then it would flap and go and like I looked at it, I'm like, Jesus, you know, just put that off. It was kind of like my first girlfriend. I just closed that and been like, yeah, well, oh.
What? Silly.
Oh, sorry, boys. Even in my act outs, hey. Just go and do an act out on a Zoom and close the whole thing.
Fuck it. Oh, boys, can you give me 2 seconds? I was going to chuck a light on. It's just got dark here all of a sudden. One moment.
Yeah, no worries.
So where did you actually like start? Did you start like say?
No, I started at I started out doing comedy like probably at a young age, because I was always involved in like community theater and doing like improv, so it was always like improvisational comedy. And then right when I was like 18, I kind of had a riff with my troupe, and then I was like, I don't even want to deal with these guys because they would always take too long to go to practice, or we would never like have a jam session. I'm like, I'll just do it by myself. So then when I turned 18, I started in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I didn't really know like where to go. So I found a music open mic, and it was a goth bar music open mic. So like I'm this young 18-year-old kid being like, okay guys, hey, yeah, ready, life is fun, and then everybody's like, I want to write a song about killing myself, and then like so it was like sadness, teen angst, and then me being like, yeah, life is fun, and then they were like, get this kid off stage, man. And then we did that for about 3 months until we found out, and it was like it was fun too, because like I would just bomb, and like they would intentionally not to laugh, because they're like, let's crush this kid's dreams, right? Because I'm in this goth bar. And then one night, I think it was like I just snapped on all of them, because I was like, oh yeah, I told a joke that I did the week ago, and they're like, you told that last week. I'm like, yeah, but there's nobody here now. There's people. I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm like, don't you think I come here because I want to? I'm like, I like you. I'm like, I don't even drink your shitty vodka, but I buy your shitty vodka because I want to talk to you. And like I just went off on these guys, and like just snapped, and they were like, we won, and they're like, come on buddy, and like they all started laughing. And then the lady was buying us she made us cupcakes for like the next couple weeks that we went. Like every week we'd show up and she'd have cupcakes and cookies. But then we found out that there was an actual comedy mic, and we just ditched it and never stopped going. And then one day we're like, oh, maybe we should go back into New City and see what's up after like 5 weeks not being there. And she's so chapped, because she's like, I baked you guys cookies for like 3 weeks in a row and you didn't show up. And then but yeah, so I started in like shitty golf open music mics, but it was fun. I don't know, I cut my teeth, it told me how to bomb.
And
Man, Canada's so much different.
And what's your process? I mean, what's your process in writing? I mean, how do you your process when you write? Do you write? Do you tape it on a tape recorder? How do you go about that?
Yeah, it's like I always kind of think about where like the laugh line is, like the punchline and the whole premise, and like where the joke is, and then I kind of like now I naturally develop it on stage over a couple mics, and then I'll record it and then figure out where it goes and kind of follow the laugh like that. But I used to just write in bullet forms, like the punchlines only, and then figure out how to get there. Doing that, because I don't know, every time I like write down, like trying to write a set the way I say it, it always turns into like a diary or a journal entry.
Is in too wordy, or
yeah, or like it turns retrospective, or I start like writing, next thing you know, I'm not even talking about funny, I'm just writing about how I feel that day. So it's like I find it out on stage really, where I'm like, oh, okay, I got this thing, or I'll catch something that's like funny, or someone says it, and then I'll reenact it kind of. But yeah, I mostly just figure out the thing that made me laugh or what I thought was funny, and then figure out how to get it there via stage time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
absolute hands-on approach sort of thing.
Yeah, but doing it that way, right? Like your whole writing process, they're seeing it. So it's like, it could be completely brutal. So you're like, oh, okay, this is how, yeah. And then you're like, no, I'm not going to tell it that way. And then go to another mic, right? So eventually my writing starts off with like 3 bomb sets, and then I figure out what's going on with it.
Can hell, that is brutal. How, is it, so you were a new comic coming into the Canadian scene. Is it hard to get a gig? Like, are there plenty of open mics?
Well, I actually, I came from Edmonton, right? And like, I think Edmonton has probably one of the best, if not best, scenes in Canada. And like a lot of people sleep on it from the rest of the country, right? Because they see it, it's like, we're like a blue collar kind of working class, like, city, and a lot of people think like Alberta is kind of they equivalent to the Texas of Canada, right? It's real like a little bit rednecky and stuff, so they think it's like they don't really pay attention to it too much. But it was perfect, because you could hit you could hit a mic every day, and it was like 40 people in the audience. It was you were never performing at comics, and if you did, we just wouldn't do the show. We would just all get together and workshop. So it was like it was a very nice, it was a very nice community too, because like you go around and you see it, it's kind of dog eat dog, right? But from Edmonton, it was a sense of community, because it was like we were all going out together, we were all hitting these mics. You'd always watch people's sets, so you would like tag it up and punch it. But yeah, we had you'd start Sunday to Thursday. We're there like, because Edmonton's a very artsy city, so everybody wants to go out and spend their money on the arts, so they'd come and watch. And then you'd work the clubs. Well, you'd go and watch the clubs, the Friday Saturday shows, and then you'd do a guest spot if like the club liked you, and then you'd work your way into doing the full middles and then hosting and all that stuff. But it was like, yeah, man, you could do it from Sunday to Sunday, full week of shows. You can do and now you can almost do in Edmonton, you can do 2 Monday, 2 Thursday, 3 Wednesday, and then work the weekends and then go on the road, right? So it was like, it was nice. It was actually it was clutch, man. It worked out perfect because everyone was nice, everybody welcomed you. There was no standoffish like, oh, who's this kid? It was more like, oh, nice, we got some more guys trying to do comedy. Nice, sick. Yeah. So it was like, yeah, because when I started, there was like I guess a class of comics that already left, right? That moved to the bigger cities, that started to go to the States to do other things. So there was like, maybe before I started, there was like a 2-year lull where no new comics were coming in, and then there was an influx of like 6 or 7 of us that became working comics. So they were, I guess my peers were more excited that there was new people to talk to, new fresh minds, and souls to crush. So it was good, you know, fresh meat for the grinder, I guess.
That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, so it was nice, man. It was good, and it was like, it was always an easy transition too, because I was in the arts, right, doing theater and improv, and then just moved to stand up, and the community was quite small, so it was good. But there's a lot of stages, a lot of everything, man. Opportunity was great.
That's awesome. How would you describe Canadian humor? Like, is there some topics that just don't wash, or are there some that are sure hitters, or?
It's kind of like I'd say it's almost like American humor, but in the same sense that like a lot of them don't want to rock the boat, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's fun. I think Canadian humor is zany, it's smart, and it's like, yeah, it's just like America with a little bit more brain cells. That's what I feel like, right? But at the same time, it's like I can say these things, but in order to get big in Canada, you got to go to the States. So it's like, or leave Canada. But it's nice.
Maybe not so much gun heavy material.
Yeah, no. If you're gun heavy, they think you're from Alberta, man. No, it's fun, man. It's cool. It's nice. Everything's like, yeah, I don't know. That's a weird question. It's kind of more inclusive, I guess, in the sense that like, because you're going to all these small towns, right? Because we have so much space and not a lot, like, you know, what was the stat I read? I think we have 32 million people in our country, and then you have 32 million people in a state alone, right? So it's like you're going to all these small towns, so sometimes you are the entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
Like you like roll through, and then you're hitting a lot of legions, a lot of community centers, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of curling rinks, all kinds of places. Yeah. So then you go up, and then they're like, a lot of them are really friendly, and they'll invite you over to their house after. There's been countless times where they're like, oh, you were great, you guys want to come back to my shed? And you're like, I don't know, is there a hammer with hair on it there? Like, what do you mean come back to your shed, dude? but like, I'm down, right? And then you just end up smashing a couple cans and shooting hockey pucks against this guy's garage till the sun comes up, and you're like, oh, Estevan, Saskatchewan's really nice.
We don't recommend going home with strangers from gigs. It works for Danny. It might not work for you. All right?
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. You leave your house, you get coughed on, you're dead. So you might as well go to someone's house and have fun.
What's the worst thing that can happen in a barn? Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. I don't know. You go to there and some guy just puts you in a hole and lowers a lotion bucket down to you.
Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, what a movie. I should watch that tonight. So you toured to Australia about 2 years ago. Where else have you been?
Just Australia and the States, and then I wasn't there for comedy, but I went down to Mexico because I used to chaperone like high school trips and grad trips and spring break trips, like just parties basically. I was like a paid party boy, but then I would do they'd be like, oh, you do comedy, so I'd do comedy on like the bus and like set up pool parties and do all that. But yeah, I don't know, I'd say just Australia, America, and Canada for like shows.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
how's
we'll see. It's fun, man. I love it, dude. It's like, it's great because they have like I guess that would be the difference, right? Where it's just like they have a more freedom of a speech, kind of, I guess. Like they could say whatever they want, and then if they act on it, then it's crazy. But here in Canada, it's kind of like you got to think before you say, right? And then they're like, oh, okay, like what you say on stage here, they're like, oh, yes, that's your opinion, and you're a piece of shit for that. But meanwhile, down there, they're like, oh, yeah, this is a joke. Oh, okay, this is art, not my art, but you go, buddy.
They're a bit more shooty. I'd be scared to do gigs over there and upset anyone. But that's just me.
Whatever, man. Just plead ignorance. Be like, I'm from Australia. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't even know what day it is, man.
Oh, g'day, mate.
Yeah. We gotta worry about the Mexicans taking our jobs and you Australians taking our women.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that clip of Trump? Someone's asking him about, are you worried about the domestic violence rising under lockdown? He goes, oh, what, Mexican violence? And the guy's like, no, domestic violence. He goes, oh. Did you see that?
No, I saw the one where the Chinese reporter asks him a question. He goes, wait, where are you from? China? Who do you work for? Is that Beijing? That's China? You working for China? Oh, okay. Independent? It's not state owned? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll answer your question.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man, it's so funny. This guy's like jokes. I love it, man. And the best part about it is like you guys, you did it. You know, if Americans are like, oh, whatever Trump, it's like, I don't. You guys did it.
It's kind of hard to feel sorry for him.
Yeah, and if he's putting out like pure gold too. Every press conference that guy drops is like 6 or 7 nuggets of joy. So you're like, can I be mad? It's like get this guy in for 4 more years just for the pure entertainment value.
I should give him an open mic spot.
Fucking kill it. Yeah, man, he'd crush.
I just can't see how he's a real person. Like, I know he is, and I don't mean that in like an Illuminati sort of way. He's a fucking robot or something. But like, who can be that fucking dumb? Like, and get into power?
Yeah, but I don't think he's that dumb. I think it's all the money. The money's he's got the money to back his bullshit up, if you know what I mean. So. So he doesn't give a fuck what he says. He's one of those rich people that just says what he wants to say.
Yeah, and he's crushing some numbers too, right? So it's like,
God,
this guy's got numbers plus money, and he's just been walking around little dick swinging his whole life. So like, let the boy play some ball.
See what happens. Who back to comedy, and that's actually a good segue. Who do you look up to? Like who do you watch? Like, do you watch comedy? Like, who do you watch if you?
Oh yeah, like when I started out, my huge big influence, I guess, would be Mike Myers, Jim Carrey, and then I remember listening to a bunch of Chris Rock, and then Dave Chappelle and stuff. And
fuck yeah.
Yeah, those kind of ones. So, and I was huge Mad TV, like all Will Sasso, Bobby Lee, all those guys too. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. And right now, I like Dalia's going good, but I was a huge Dane Cook fan too. Like going through junior high and high school, that was my jam. Was Dane Cook.
I never really got into Dane Cook. I'll give him a shot, but
yeah.
Oh, he shreds,
Oh
man.
yeah, his vicious circle is and harmful to swallow is just game changer, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mid 2000s for sure. That guy was untouchable.
Yeah.
Oh fuck it! All right, I'll look that up. So
Yeah.
where do you want to, like, let's say shit's gone back to normal? I don't know. Next month. I don't know. This is all hypothetical shit, but like,
Yeah.
what's
You mean I can talk to people next month without the internet? Oh boy.
Yeah, just stay away from them. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that. I'm going in video calls like this, but is horking up the T virus on their shit.
Make it digital. Have you what sort of plans or goals have you got for the next few years?
Well,
Like, where do you want to be?
We were gonna tape an album in January, but or not January, July. But I don't even know if that's going to go down good because we got to push it back because we had a lot of tour dates. But if things go back to normal, I want to come back to Australia, and then we have some shows I was opening up for my buddy Jason Rouse in Oslo. So we're going to go do some European stuff as well as
wicked.
I don't know. Yeah, so I wanted to hop over there, go to England after Oslo, but we don't even know what's going on, right? So we had a good summer tour pop off, but yeah, when everything comes back to normal, we're gonna tape another special, little album, put it up on XM satellite radio, and then just go coast to coast and
Fuck yeah.
start making some moves. Yeah, come back down to you guys, and Chris Franklin set up a good run. So
Oh, nice.
yeah. So I want to go and do that stuff and see him on the island. And yeah, I'll probably just honestly come see you guys when all this shit blows over.
Oh, that'd be awesome to have you, man. I hope it all turns out. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, me too. So go stretch my legs on an open flight. Rolling up to first class, knocking Aquafina bottles off all the way from economy.
Business class would be cheap still. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll get one of those pods, man.
More isolation. That's what you want.
Yeah. You'll just know I haven't had one of them because you'll just see me constantly going up and like this in my seat all day. It's like that. You'll be like, "Oh, sir, this is not a 6'4". Can you just please stand either this way or that way?"
That's brilliant.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's kind of, you can't even really make plans right now because you don't even know, right?
No, unfortunately not. But have you got anything? Like I've still got your card from when I first met you.
Nice, see that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's fancy as shit. Black with gold. Looks like
gold foil.
Yeah, it's
man.
fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So I've got mad respect for you in like a way you hold yourself kind of way, and you put yourself out there like to be noticed sort of thing.
Well, thank you.
That's why we're having this chat. Like I've remembered like most of your set from like 2 fucking years ago. So I think a lot of people learned something for you. Like what made you get cards? For example, just real basic as that, because you see a lot of comics doing their thing every week, but they don't have any material up for anyone to follow up with. Like
yeah, I just had this old guy just ream me out for not having a business card.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, he saw me at a show and he's like, "Oh man, do you have a business card?" When I kind of like first started, I was like, "Oh no, I don't." And then it was like a 7-minute, just it felt like my dad just yelling at me, man. I was like, I don't know this guy, but he's like, "You gotta have business cards. How are you trying to run a business where were you just gonna write it on a piece of paper like I'm some girl in grade school?" I'm like, "No, you need something nice." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, all right, these are all valid points, sir." And then I went and got a pimp's card, man. You can't forget.
Yeah, no, they look pimping as shit. Like, check that out.
Yeah, thanks. Right there, bubby. It's good, thick too. Thick card, man. You
dude,
cut that up, put it in a cigarette.
Man, this has been in my wallet for 2 years.
Oh, nice.
It's quality. Are all these links still active? Like,
I think, what is that website on there?
dmartinello.com.
I think that expired. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, well,
all the links, man. You can get it on just Instagram. Just Google my name. I got a YouTube page, Danny Martinello. Instagram, Danny Martinello. Facebook, Danny Martinello. Even if you're a Karen, I don't know, buddy, I'll add you. I'll add you. I don't care. I'll FaceTime you during Christmas. Get the whole family in there. I'll show you how I make my rutabaggers.
The man just needs an audience.
Yeah, pretty much at this time, guys. I'm really depriving. Thank you so much for getting me on this show here. I'm going crazy. I almost started jerking off on Chatterbait for fun.
How's the house party app going? You said you were on a house party before.
Yeah, it was good. We just started joining in on a bunch of randos, so that it's like a weird thing, man. If you don't lock your house party, people just pop in. So we just popped in on this one, and they were running like a D&D thing, and then they all kind of clued in, like, who are these 4 strangers that just popped in?
What?
Like, oh, you guys, yeah, we're like, yo, you guys are running it. You need a mage, and they're like, oh, what? And then they just all started closing, and we're like, but it's fun, man. It's just like you can get as many people as you want. We've had 8 people already so far, so it's like. Yeah, man. It's just all the boys are getting together online, just shooting the shit.
Who the fuck came up with this idea?
Fucking Chinese, bro.
It's like a pedophile's wet dream. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. That's TikTok. All those new apps, man. They're getting your data, dude.
Oh fuck! I don't understand the TikTok thing. It's all underage people. Fuck that.
Yeah, my girlfriend wanted me to do a dance, and I immediately vomited in my mouth. She's like, "Do you want to learn a TikTok?" I was like, "Yeah." No.
I want fans, but I'm not desperate.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that. That's that house party thing sounds like that. Was it webcam roulette? Did you guys ever see that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Saw tons of penises on that. Chat roulette, that's what it was.
I told my cousin, who's about 10 years younger than me, about it a couple of years ago. I'm 30, so he would have been 20 something. And he's like, prime of his life. Like, I just want to see ass and titties sort of thing. I was like, dude, don't worry about porn sites. You need to get on webcam roulette. You're going to see the most tits you've ever seen. You go, oh, okay, yeah, sweet. Calls me back like 2 hours later. He goes, so nothing but dicks. Fuck you, man. Like,
yeah, man. Nothing but tits. You're like, yeah, right. Here's this guy from Arkansas stroking his limp dick. That's all it is, eh? It's just, you just see it, and it's set up like this, like here, and he's just the occasional.
Are you still watching?
Yeah.
Just eating corn chips while he's doing it. Fuck
yeah. This guy's whipping his dick around like a helicopter with just Tostitos crunches in the background.
It's a good prank. If you ever want to fuck someone up, send them to webcam roulette.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that is funny because it's so like, leave it up to dudes too, hey? Where they're like, oh yeah, you can spin the rule, and just then they're like, oh, you mean I could jack off for strangers? Oh, you got a little kitty in the background.
Yeah, that's Turkish.
Oh, nice. Betty's a delight.
You got a cat as well?
No, I wish.
Got to get a cat.
Me. Oh, sorry. It's one of those legs where someone just says something.
Oh, sorry.
And then both people stop.
Yeah, no, he's a good cat, man.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend want to get a cat, but we got I don't know. We got a little bit of a small place. I don't really want to have the litter box and just sitting around somewhere. I kind of want to
in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, just making a curry. Meanwhile, this guy's dropping them on. Just the cat's looking at me like, I'm like, your shit kind of looks like my lentils.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. No, you have to have the shitter boxes way far away from the kitchen. But yeah. He's a good boy. going fucking nuts. I've been home for 3 weeks. Cat's like, this is our place.
Yeah. When did you guys shut down? Like Australia?
About a month ago.
It's got to be at least a month. Yeah.
About a month.
Because we had I normally go to Benny's place to do the podcast. And I think the last one we did that was at yours, we had to lock down like 2 days later or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
that would have been about
wild.
a month ago, yeah.
Yeah. Easy.
It's
You
weird.
guys no gatherings in Australia and stuff too?
No, police are door knocking, man.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. The other day, I was driving back from the shops, and there was like 2 or 3 police helicopters in the sky, just doing like circle work because it was like
making sure no one's having parties and shit.
Yeah, barbecues and shit. Yeah, because it was a nice day, and yeah, you see cops just I hear sirens all the time because I live in a dodgy joint, but yeah, you hear sirens all the time, and apparently cops are just door knocking randomly.
Yeah, it's weird too. Our mayor just said like he's encouraging people to snitch.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, if your neighbors are having parties, don't feel free. Like, don't let them call in.
Yeah, but it's a massive fine over here. It's like $1,600.
Yeah, it's 1,000 over here.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's like
Canadian.
1984, boys.
They're probably listening to this conversation as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Are you into conspiracy theories at all?
I don't know. I'm always kind of like fascinated to them, but it's just like I'll watch them. But I went into like a crazy wormhole the other day. I was rattled for the afternoon. I'm like, I don't know if it's real or not. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I should just stop smoking pot and watching 7 hours of conspiracy theories with the iPad glued to my face.
That's a slippery slope, that one. Turkish.
Oh yeah, no, but it's like I don't know. There's a lot going on right now. Like they're trying to say that it's kind of like man-made, and then Bill Gates is in on it because he's in charge of the vaccines. But then it showed like I don't know. Somebody said he was in a TED talk talking about like population control and stuff. And then like I don't even know, man. And then there's that one where the world elites are all getting busted for their child pedophilia and the satanic parties, and they're like, that's why COVID's going down so they can do the whole sting, And I'm like,
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one.
Oh, buddy, I'll send you this video. It's called The Fall of Cabal. It's like a 3-hour documentary, and you're just like, by the end of it, you're like, I don't know, is it real? Is Pizzagate real? But then you think, right? Because you're like, I don't know. It could be, right? Who knows?
Yeah, no, you don't. That's the thing. It's fucked. Anything's possible.
It could be the 5G.
Yeah, that's another one too, where it's weird. But then they were also trying to say like that's like they were like, oh, I just learned about this thing called smart dust. Have you guys heard of smart dust?
No.
So basically it's like this little dust, but it's they're like almost kind of like nanobots in the sense where it's like they can kind of track you with it. I got to read up on it more. I kind of just glanced it because I'm tuning in with my one of my friends is like a huge conspiracy nut, and I was just like, oh, let's poke this bear. But now I'm like, send me some more, man. Give it to me, But I guess this thing is it goes with the 5G or whatever, where people are getting sick because all these towers are coming out, which I can almost kind of believe because it's like, there wasn't that thing where they showed if you're like over cell phone use, or if you used your laptop on your lap too much, like I can understand like these microactive waves or whatever affecting the body, right? But they're saying that these the vaccine will have smart dust where they put it in you and then they can control you and figure out. But then it also tunes in with all these new apps coming out, like the House Party and TikTok, where they got the facial recognition, so they know where you're going, and you're like, I don't even know, but. Yeah, man, it's like there's some ones where they're like just deep, and you're like, other ones you're like, okay, that was a huge stretch, like that, where you just see them where they try to put the yarn, like it's like a police detective where they're like, yeah, next thing you know, Justin Trudeau's a pedophile, and you're like, what?
He's not top of my guessing list for pedophiles. He doesn't have that.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't have that quality.
Yeah, but then like, you know, you got those ones where they're like the Rothschilds or lizards, and you're like, yeah, I could kind of see that, you know, that guy, you know, because that guy looks like, you remember when like the Chinese fish markets where they were putting the fake googly eyes on the fish that were like expired and old to make them look fresh? Yeah, dude, that's what the Rothschild looks like. You're like, how is this salmon still alive at 107, you know?
Fucking hell. All right, Smart Dust. I'm looking that up tonight.
Yeah, look it up, man. I'll send you a bunch. Look up follicle ball, smart dust, 5G is crazy. Like, I don't know.
Well, there was some guy in Queensland burning the bloody towers down. The 5G towers. Read a whole article about it. He was actually, they reckon it's some guy, but he's actually sort of like lining these fucking towers up, and he's just burning them down. Like, fuck it, nah. It's got to be that.
Wow.
Middle of nowhere. Yep, it's got to be that.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah.
Some of them come with jerry cans and matches.
But you gotta think about it. Those towers aren't fucking small. Like, I mean, they're pretty fucking tall. How he gets up there, and he actually lines them with fucking shit to light it up. So it's not like, it's not down the bottom trying to burn the whole fucking thing from the ground up. He actually gets on top of the fucking thing and lines it with something.
So he's a martyr.
Yeah, so I don't know what he is.
Yeah. He's like, he's our prophet, you know. Yeah. Someone's got to be the first to die for a movement to go.
And somebody's yelling out, Ahmed, get down, Ahmed.
This guy's strapping some like C4 vests to the 5G towers.
It's like that dude who finished off the alien ship on Independence Day just by flying up its butthole. Like, he takes himself out while he takes it out.
Yeah. Probably had a wife at home. He's like, fuck it, I'm saving it. I'm saving the race. I ain't going back. Just like,
why would you climb the tower if that's the problem?
Yeah, because they can't do social gatherings, so they can't blow a group up. So they might as well take a tower out. You know?
That's funny. Terrorists are probably like, fuck, how are we going to get mass casualties now?
Yeah.
Letter bombs. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that.
We got to figure out how to blow up people's iPads during house parties.
Fucking hell.
Oh, hilarious.
Is America on lockdown? Like, there hasn't been a school shooting for a bit.
I think so. I think they're on like lockdown. Like my buddies in LA said so, but then I guess they have like this mass grave site too in New York, like New York City, where they just burn like and bury all like the homeless and people that have like all the Johns and Janes, all those people. But now they're like filling them up with COVID people.
Oh shit.
Oh
yeah, yeah. So there's like I can't remember what island it's called. It's like just a mass grave, but yeah, they're on like lockdown and stuff. And then right now, I guess the report came out that New York City alone has more cases than fucking the world so far, or like that than any country. Sorry, that's it. So like it goes New York. So I don't know. But those guys, I think those guys are fucked in general because they don't have a good healthcare system. So it's
Trump's saying fucking they want to go back in a couple of weeks. Like, yeah, no, we can get everybody back working now. It's like, what the fuck, bro? It's like,
yeah, no, our prime minister was like, our borders are going to stay closed for a while too. And it's like where I'm living, Ontario is right on. We're connected to New York State. So it's like,
oh shit.
Our numbers are starting to fucking go up too.
But you couldn't get over the border now. Like you couldn't actually drive over or anything like that, could you? Or
I'm not too sure. I think like, because my girlfriend's a flight attendant, so she was saying like some of her friends were going back, like flying out, but they don't know what's essential, what's not travel, right? Like, what are you gonna? You can say I gotta go see my grandma, right? And then they're like, oh, okay, all right. So I don't know. To close a border that big is like, with so much, like, freedom between the states, there's nothing really. So I don't even know.
Fuck. What a
But
job
it's
to have at this time.
so I don't know, man. If you're traveling, going to like the States, you know what I mean? Like you should get sick. Fuck you, get sick and stay there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if there's a werewolf outside of your cabin, are you gonna be like, well, I don't know, I really gotta go and check it. Check the fucking. I'm gonna go check the chicken coop right now. I'm fucking see if we have enough eggs for the morning.
How long until Hollywood comes out with a movie about this? Some Americanized movie.
They already did, man. Contagion.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah, man. And the crazy thing too is like, do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys had it on your Netflix, but like, what, like a month or two before, or probably a month or maybe a month and a half before like all the pandemic crazy went. That fucking series came out, Pandemic.
Yeah.
So you're like, what's going on, man? You know, there's too many questions, boys. There's too many questions.
Contagion. Oh.
Too coincidental. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. At what point does it stop being coincidences?
Yeah.
You know?
I had no idea about those movies. I figured Hollywood's already run out of ideas.
Oh no,
because
man.
they remake fucking everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just gonna do Pandemic, but with an all-female cast. They remake Contagion, all females.
I just hope they don't find the fucking cure. They will not stop talking about it. If they work out the cure before anybody else,
women or fucking American?
fucking best.
American.
Fuck yes.
America. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, when they're pumping people with vaccines, USA, USA, USA.
Fucking hell. We're number one.
Yeah, man. So much racism, open racism to China comes out if America finds the vaccine.
Oh, fuck yeah. Could you imagine the TCA when you get off the plane in LA, you'd be going through those fucking things and then it'd be like, vaccination time, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, take some nanobots. There you
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's some smart dust fuckers.
go. Smart dust. That's the one. Oh man, what a crazy fucking scary concept. Smart dust.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but it's like,
What happens if you snort it? That's what I want to know.
yeah, fucking you get dumb.
They know what's in your head if you fucking
Yeah. You guys want to rock a Hollywood of the smart dust? Everyone just starts drooling.
Well, you get to a room and there's somebody exactly like you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
He's better than me and he's not getting heckled.
Yeah. Fuck, this guy's punchlines are flawless. There's no fat on any of his jokes.
Can I be a stunt double if you get into Hollywood?
Yeah.
Turkish, can you move, please?
Oh,
all right.
Yeah,
My cat's
so
purring
I don't-
straight into the mic. Can you move?
so what else? What else can we talk about? I don't know.
Fucking
Well,
cats.
Cats.
Oh, a cat pulled my fucking earphones out. I'll put them down.
How many cats you got?
3.
I keep telling him I'm an ex-chef, so I keep telling him, he's got Turkish, so I'll cook him Turkish, but Turkish, if you know what I mean. So I'll cook him.
Please don't.
Yeah.
But that's too.
Yeah. This is some good. What is this? Oh, this is homemade, buddy. Home raised.
It wasn't funny the first time. It was just painful.
It's all right. I'm being a cunt.
Now it's just now I'm just worried about my cat and think about it being cooked. It's not nice.
I'm being a cunt internationally now.
This costs extra. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a good cat. No, not normally when we're at Benny's joint, we got the dog joining us.
Nice. No worries. What kind of dog you got, Ben?
Labrador.
Oh, nice. Smart. Third smartest. Or second. Yeah. No, Labrador's third. What is it? First is a border collie. First is a poodle. I don't fucking know.
Really?
Yeah, I used to. I think poodles are like the first, border collies are first, poodles are second, or it's one of those two. And then I think Labradors are like either fourth or German Shepherds are third.
Okay.
Can't remember. I
What
did a
was all-
study or something.
That's nuts.
He's more shifty than smart, so you know.
Yeah, those are the ones you got to watch out for.
Yeah. Oh, Dad's got the peanut butter out again. Oh, this is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, he cheaped out and bought the crunchy. I said smooth.
Yeah.
I just
He likes.
just keep hearing him say, "Dad, let's TikTok this motherfucker." Rawr."
Yeah. Yeah, but when you get the crunchy, it's crunchy for his pleasure.
Fucking hell. Well, I took an unexpected turn.
When you do your gigs and that, I mean, do you have like a little group that you sort of hang out with, work with, and sort of feed off each other and that sort of thing, or is it sort of more?
Oh yeah. We got like a crew out here in Toronto, but it's like it's a nice tight knit kind of crew, and we all go around gigging and stuff like that, and hit the mics. But it's almost better like that too, because we'll be like, we'll know it's a shitty open mic, and we'll all gonna meet there, and then just make it the best of it. So it's nice.
Do you use touring groups, or is it more like your individual sort of thing, or?
We'll all tour like individual, but I'll set it up with like if I know that there's comics in that area that I like, or vice versa, then we'll kind of jump on the shows together and stuff. So it's like if I'm going to Alberta, I have my two guys that I like to roll with,
Yep.
and if they come out to here, they like to bring me along, and so it's kind of nice that way. And especially too, if you like go to new scenes, you kind of find out like, oh, okay, these guys are there. I know that's that kind of crew. So.
That's awesome.
It's good, yeah, it's nice, man. Canadian comedies, it's like there's only so many working comics too, right? So it's like it's good. It's nice.
And when's do you guys have like festivals like how we have in Melbourne sort of thing, or is it more?
Yeah, well, we have our JFL in July, and then we have I think, what is it, last month or was Just for Laughs Northwest. So Vancouver has one, and then we have like a Winnipeg Comedy Festival, a Halifax Comedy Festival. So yeah, we got a bunch.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
have you done those?
I've done Hubcap. I haven't done Winnipeg. I haven't done Halifax. Showcase from this year though, they liked me, but they didn't pick me, so I'm on their radar. And then haven't done Just for Laughs yet. So
one day, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the plan. We'll see. Hopefully it's still around, man.
And
I'm sure it will.
Do you have an agent or anything like that over there? Or
I got a booking agent as well. So he'll put together like for the corporates, those kind of things, and then I also do some of my independent booking too as well. But no managers, mostly just agents.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
How do you go the corporate gigs? You have to clean it up a bit, or?
Oh yeah. Well, it all depends, right? Like, yeah, it's mostly like going in there knowing that you're just trying not to offend anybody and make sure they book comedy again.
Yeah.
So I always kind of treat corporates like I'm just going to a dinner of a new girlfriend's, kind of meeting the whole family and figuring out who's cool or not, and just be like, oh, there's the boss, that's daddy, but still hitting it,
Do they ask you for sort of proof of material before you go into these things?
Yeah. So like I'm signed with Yuck Yucks too. So like if they want to hire corporates from this company called Funny Business, which is their corporate side, they'll have like, oh, hey, we have this kind of party, we're looking for this, and then they'll pitch like us, and they'll be like, oh, okay, like I think that guy's more well suited. Or if they come to me, they go, hey, we have a work party here, but they just want to see like some of your materials, and they're like, oh, okay, well, here's some of my set that I would be doing for you guys. Is there content restrictions? And they'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, okay. And then you send them a clean set, and then yeah.
So kind of like a show reel sort of thing. You just got that handy.
Yeah, and then like or you'll be like, I don't know, here's my stuff on YouTube, go check it out, or you'll have
Oh, wicked! It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice, but then it's like, I don't know. It's just soul sucking, because it's like that's for like a certain period of time of the months, like during Christmas season. It's like the running joke is how many roast beef dinners can we get in this month? So you just go. Go ahead. Sorry.
That would be paying well. I mean.
Oh yeah, it pays well, but that's why you're doing it, right? It's like you're not doing it for the fun, that's for sure.
So corporate's the way to go if you want to make some money then?
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. I don't really do too many corporates because it's like, I don't know. I don't. The money's okay. One, it's like there's other people that are better at it than doing it, better than me because they're corporate clean comics. So it's like they got that stuff, but it's like, I don't know. You look through the Rolodex and you're like, oh, okay, I got to change it like this. I got to change it like that and stuff, right? So it's not my strongest forte. I'd rather just go smash out a club where it's like you can do anything you want. But that could be me just being lazy.
No, it's good to have a favorite club where you'd like to do something and do the formula that works for you. Yeah. What would be your favorite club in town?
My favorite club in town, like in Toronto, would probably be the downtown Yuck Yucks. But then, like the comic strip in Edmonton's really sick. There was this one club in St. John, New Brunswick, but it closed down. But yeah, I'd probably say my favorite club in Toronto would be the downtown Yuck Yucks. But then there's also this one place that I used to play called the Corner Comedy Club, which is also dope. It's a small, tight little 30 person room. And they're like rammed right up in there and the laughs are banging.
Yeah? Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, it's kind of like almost like a secret entrance. You got to go around the side through an alley. And like a lot of people are like kind of scared going in because there's all the comics in the street, like in the walkway and the driveway, just doing street riffs, shooting the shit. And they're like, oh. And you're like, oh, you guys looking for the comic club? Yeah, it's just right in here. And then they go in. It's so small. Like it only fits 30 people. But
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, but it's full and it's loud and they're right there, which it's kind of like different, right? Because you're literally performing. Like I could rest my dick on this guy's table. So it's
just make sure there's not a pot plant around when you do that.
Yeah.
Keep it clean. That's awesome. That sounds like a great room.
So
man, it's
so you like the intimate more than the sort of bigger rooms and that sort of thing.
Oh, but I know I like big rooms, man, big theaters, all that stuff. But like, it's a different kind of gear, though, right? Like, you can't be like pizzazz, right? Because I'm a high energy comic, so it's like you got to find the gear until they're all ready, and then you could be like, oh, okay, I'll give you the energy now, right?
Yep.
So it's good, yeah. It's just a different muscle.
That's awesome. So if someone looks you up after this chat, what can they expect to see on your socials? Like, is it a mixture of older jokes, newer jokes?
Yeah, I got older jokes, newer jokes. Got a couple snuff films, and no, I'm just joking, You can see me watering my tulips for about a couple minutes.
He's on the roulette.
Yeah. That's where Martinello got Danny goes.
No, that's in the what is it? What's that
like
fucking? What's that site that all the women use? And fans only. That's in the fans only bit.
Yeah. You type in Martinello.Danny, or what was it? Yeah. What was the website? Martinello.Danny. I don't even know my own website. It's just a picture of like, that one picture, that black guy with the huge dick going around. He's like, it's just that. It's a cut. It takes you, my URL takes you there. This is my face superposed, Photoshop, butchered Photoshop, white head, black body.
But it's attention grabbing. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And it's an interactive website, so when you put the mouse cursor over his penis, it just flops like
a smile comes up. Fuck it up.
Yeah, just cheap laughs. No, I got like old jokes, new jokes, a couple vlogs, starting like now that there's no shows here, so we're gonna start a little bit of a podcast or like just some, I don't know, rambles, so that kind of stuff, a mixture of all that. And then me and my girlfriend are coming out with little sketches too, so
nice.
It's just all kind of art. Yeah,
I gotta do something to keep busy.
Yeah, I gotta do something, man. Something to keep me in this relationship, So I gotta do something to keep the missus happy, and it's making little funny sketches that I could take over. So I'm okay with it. It's when I start making TikTok videos, that's when you guys gotta really be worried.
Oh, he's gone off women. He must be. No, who knows?
Yeah.
It's something creepy about old dudes who are on TikTok.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean-
old dudes on TikTok is like when you go to the club and there's like that 52-year-old that's just sitting around. You're like, bro, what are you doing here? What's going
No,
on?
I've got money. I'm allowed to be here. No, it's still creepy, dude.
Yeah, it's still creepy, bro. I'll take a gin and soda though.
Tries to give you that life advice that you're just like, oh, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. He's the guy that's telling me to get business cards.
Fucking hell. Oh, getting business cards is probably better advice than saying spend all your money on a Lambo and a suit and just hang out in a bar.
Yeah.
Like, hey, ladies. Oh, fuck
Yeah, he's
that.
like, what you got to do is you got to find a mansion garage to rent, lease yourself a Lambo for 2 days, and tell people how you made so much money on the internet. It's like,
You only need it for 2 days. She's only going to fuck you once. Don't worry about it. Fucking hell. Oh,
How do the Canadians react to Aussie comedians doing sets obviously in Canada? I mean, is it a relatable thing, or is it,
Oh yeah, Canada loves it, man. Canada loves Australians. You guys pretty much took over Banff and Jasper anyway, so yeah, they Banff and Jasper. That's our ski places. You walk through there, everybody has an Australian accent.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, man.
I can't afford to go skiing, so I never thought about it. But, yeah.
Oh no, they like comedy. Canada's a good place, man. They like all kind of arts. They appreciate it too, especially if any international acts come. It's like, oh, nice, you guys came to Canada, sweet. So it's good. They like your accents.
I just want to come over and get some genuine poutine and gravy.
Yeah, man, you got to go to Quebec for that and talk to the French Canadians, man. That's a whole new world.
What are we getting?
Awesome.
What are we getting? Some poutine? All right, I'm there.
Yeah. This guy's gonna risk it. Risk it all.
Around.
I'm just here for the poutine and gravy, sir. Oh, what a movie! Fucking hell. Yeah, no, that would go down the treat right now, actually. Yeah, no, Canada sounds fucking awesome, dude. But
yeah, man.
Please let us know when you have any idea when you're coming over here, and we'll share the shit out of whatever you've got coming up. Because
yeah, for sure, man.
Definitely worth seeing, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I want to come over, play your guys' room, and
plenty of room to crash. No problem.
Perfect. Thanks. Likewise for you guys, man. You come, you can. There's your bed right there.
Perfect.
Benny will sort you out some peanut butter so the dog leaves you alone over the night.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. Sleeping. The dog doesn't Cosby people. That's Benny. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I put peanut butter on my sandwich. Benny comes out of the room sniffing, or
is it the crunchy or the smooth? No.
Yeah. He's coming out of the bedroom like Deputy Dewey with a boner and a vacuum cleaner.
Are we on? Let's get this thing happening.
It's my ass.
Yeah. Starts putting all I hear is boom, 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 boom. Marvin Gaye and Art Dawson. Whatever that guy is. The other Freddie Van Jarrison or whatever.
No, man. If you're heading over soon, or hopefully sooner than later, we'll look after you any way we can, man. Because it'd be absolutely pleasure to have you on, dude.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in, dude.
And just give us
worries. Thanks for the invite.
Give us your shout outs for your socials where we can find you.
Check me out on Instagram, Danny Martinello. That's DannyMartinello. You can follow me. I don't know, into my garbage chute twice a week. Follow me on Instagram, man. Danny Martinello. Look me up on YouTube, Danny Martinello. And it's pretty much it. If you guys want to be Facebook friends, for sure, just don't be creepy. My mom's on there.
Safety first. I like it.
Yeah. Safety first.
Introduce me to your mum. This is Benny, the peanut butter guy.
Yeah. Oh, he likes peanut butter too.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Very good, man. Thank you very much for making the time to chat to us, dude. This has been a pleasure.
No worries, boys. Thank you so much. Pretty sure I woke up my whole household, but it's for the art, you know? It's for the art.
Oh, fuck it. They'll be all right. They can sleep. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, man. I don't know why anybody's waking up before 12. Tell you that.
Yeah, no, I didn't today. It was good.
Yeah. My buddy asked me a question yesterday. He goes, "Hey, man, are you pretty busy?" And I go, "Yeah, man, I'm pretty busy. I'll tell you, if I had 4 hands, they'd be all on my dick."
Danny, thank you very much once again. It's a pleasure.
Fucking hell.
No worries. Thank you, boys.
Check Danny out, and